Well, good day guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to some NRL content. I know it has been a little while since some NRL content, but this is a video that I've wanted to make for a while, and I think you need to understand that the points that I address are not just points from me, but I think a general consensus from the public as fans as well, and I think some of these things are overdue. So here are 5 things that the NRL need to do in 2024 and even 2025, because some of these have unfortunately, in my opinion, already been announced.
Subscribe to Entertain House.
Number 1 is double headers. Double headers were a massive part of the game for many years. We had double headers at ANZ Stadium. We had double headers at Suncorp. I think we've even had that double header at Perth, and I think it really works. As good as Magic Round is that time of year where you have these great contests, lots of different colours around, I think double headers are so great for rugby league. Even if it was something like 2 a year. I know that you can't have it all the time. You can't have it all that regularly. And it's tough because it obviously takes a team an away game where it should be a home game for them. They could be the home team at, say, Suncorp instead of being at home, say Manly. But I think double headers are a massive part of the game. And going forward, I think the NRL needs to look at a way to bring them back. I think they're a very exciting time. I think fans love it, especially a Saturday night, that 5:30 and 7:30 on Saturdays where it really works. But I think that the NRL just has to bring back double headers in some way, shape or form. Even on the Central Coast, we get good crowds here on the Central Coast, and a double header, between, say, a Roosters team playing someone and then a Rabbitohs team playing someone, I think they'd get some good numbers. But especially places like Allianz Stadium now being open, I think we need to experience some double headers at the newer stadiums like Allianz and Bankwest. 2 is a little bit controversial, but it is create less jerseys. Now, the NRL has done a fantastic job over the years with Women in League round, with Indigenous round, with Anzac round, plenty of different rounds that they get involved with. And I think we're looking at adding a mental health round, which is massive and great cause for the community. But I think, especially in this time of, cost of living kind of crisis for people as well, I think there needs to be less jerseys. Now, I don't think this is something that will happen next year, and I honestly don't think this is something that will happen. But I personally think that, especially if those diehard fans that are buying 4 or 5 jerseys a year, I myself, I'm probably guilty of buying at least 2 per year. Normally the Indigenous one and either a home or away one, often a home one for Parramatta. But I just think it's going to be tough for people, especially as things start to go up in price as well. And I just think there's too many going around. As nice as some of those jerseys are, some of them are god-awful, but some of them are great. But the more I think about it, for the fans' perspective, I just think they're creating way too many jerseys. You've also got the retro round, and the retro jerseys are nice as well. But I think you just stick to that home away jersey, maybe an alternate jersey in there. That's 3 already for the fans. I don't think there's any need to have 6 or 7, but absolutely keeping those rounds that have been in rugby league. And if they want to add more, like that mental health round, really, really open to that. I just think personally, and I know a lot of you will disagree with me, that the NRL needs to have less jerseys available. Now, number 3 is something that I was really, really hoping for the 2024 season. And you should be ashamed of yourself, Melbourne Storm. But it is take the Melbourne Storm to New Zealand to play the Warriors on Anzac Day. I understand that the Storm don't want to travel, don't want to go over there for Anzac Day, but they have had the home game against it, and it's really disappointing to see. Yes, the Warriors are getting a home game for Anzac for the first time in a few years. Yes, we've seen, King's birthday, Queen's birthday games being switched around from Bulldogs, Dragons to Bulldogs, Eels. We've seen these switches of game, and we're seeing that this year with the Titans and the Warriors, or next year in that Anzac clash. But I really, really want to see the Storm head over to New Zealand on Anzac Day just to show, thanks for what the Warriors have done to the league, and a thanks for coming to Amy Park for what, the last decade? It's really, really disappointing. I'm pretty sure it used to be done, and I think that the Storm need to have a trip over there to New Zealand, especially at Anzac round, not just in the regular season. I think you get a massive crowd. I think it's such a big part of the game, and it's really disappointing to see that game leave the 2024 draw, in my opinion. Number 4 is similar to the double headers, and it is changing the schedule of Magic Round. As great as Magic Round has been over the year, there has been some very repetitive game. They have some great schedules all in all, but there are some teams that have been playing each other for the last 4 years, and honestly, I'm kind of sick of it, and I'm sure you guys are too. The 2 games that I'm thinking of, especially the number one, the Manly Seagulls and the Broncos. It's either Manly at home or Bronco at home. It's just a blowout. Either way, whoever wins, it's always a blowout score. It's boring. We're sick of it at Magic Round there. And then the other one that I want to see a bit of a rest from is the Newcastle Knights and the Canterbury Bulldogs. We've seen that a couple times in recent years as well. There's a few other games as well, but they're the main 2 right now that come to mind. And I think that they need to take more care in the Magic Round schedule to give new opponents an opportunity to play a new team, not just have a home game against the Broncos, just like the last 3 years. I think Magic Round needs to be kind of revamped. I don't necessarily think it needs to change stadium. I do think Suncorp's a great venue for it, but I think some of the schedule needs to be looked at, especially if it gets to 2 years in a row of the same team playing each other. I think they need to make some changes. And the 5th and final thing that I want to see the NRL do, which is a little bit of a tough one, but I think it needs to be done, especially with how many different rules have come out in, say, the last decade, especially in the last 5 years. You know, there's been lots of changes to the NRL. Now, the couple that I can mention right now off the top of my head are the 18th man rule, the 1 referee rule, as well as the 2040 rule coming in. And what I want to see and what I think they need to do, and if they think it's fine to keep the rules, that's absolutely fine, because I think their rules are fairly great for the most part for the game. But I think they need to do a review and see just how much those rules are used, and if the game, the way it's played these days, you know, we notice players that used to be fantastic seem to be a bit of a faster game, you know, of NRL these days compared to, and you see some players not at their best due to the speed of the game. So I wonder if they need to look at a little bit of an analysis at the rules that they have brought in, find out if they need to make some changes, find out if everything is going smoothly. I think a full review by the NRL just has to be done on the rules there, just to see what they've brought in and see if they're working in favour of, you know, the growth of the game in the coming years, not just the last couple of years that we have seen those rules come under place. Well, there you go, guys. There's 5 things the NRL need to do in 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting plenty of NRL content as we get over the off season. We're almost at Christmas, guys, so yeah, some very exciting times. I've got some videos coming out over the Christmas period. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see the NRL change, and if you think that none of these things need to change, let me know in the comments as well. Obviously, this is just my opinion. Some of these, as I said, don't need to, but I definitely think reviews need to be done by the NRL on their part to make sure for the growth of the game that everything is working. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later.